Alright, this is gonna be a quick one, because funnily enough, with a movie that everyone has a million opinions on, I don't have a hell of a lot to say. Also, I'm pretty busy right now, but I know a lot of you want to hear my thoughts on this. So, Joker's a movie, it came out, you guys know the drill. Let's talk about it. Roll the clip. And don't worry, the first part of this will be spoiler-free, although if you don't want to know anything about this, probably see the movie before watching this. So, Joker. I've been really intrigued by this, based on the premise, the trailers, and the new style of comic book film this is going for. And I can say that I wasn't really disappointed. This movie definitely has flaws, but on the whole, I think it's quite a good film. That mainly comes down to the man himself, Joaquin Phoenix as Arthur Fleck, who is absolutely amazing. He's able to make you feel sympathetic for this character up to a point, and is also insanely creepy and terrifying when he needs to be. The writing for this character's descent into madness is quite good, some of the better writing in the film, but Phoenix is 100% what carries it. Even though sometimes the circumstances around that character's descent can be a bit ridiculous or far-fetched, the performance is so compelling that it anchors the story and makes you believe the character's journey. The progression of the character is horrifying to watch, but executed pretty well. The movie is also filled with some genuinely unsettling and shocking scenes, from the direction of the scenes to, again, the Phoenix performance. There are quite a few moments that keep you on the edge of your seat, or make you feel really uncomfortable, for example, that train scene. There are some moments that are truly quite disturbing, and that'll put off a lot of viewers, but that is what the movie is going for in those scenes, so I gotta commend it for effectively making some scenes very uncomfortable or unpleasant. The film's score is quite well done and memorable, and the movie looks absolutely gorgeous. This is packed full of amazing shots, and the colors are fantastic. From the dark green of that bathroom, to the way the Joker himself in his final getup works with the rest of the environment, it's a great looking film. And I really love this Joker look. It's realistic, especially in the context of the film, and it's kinda terrifying. That's quite a bit of praise, but this movie still has some problems. Primarily with the dialogue. A lot of the dialogue in this was very on the nose. A lot of the time, characters talked with no subtlety and really like they're in a movie. Like sometimes it felt like a parody of overused movie cliches with the way characters were talking. Also, there are a lot of scenes where characters just don't act like how people would act, and it's kind of bizarre. They're acting how they have to act to push the plot forward in a certain way, and it gets kind of distracting. And I also felt that sometimes some plot points were a bit predictable. I'm going to talk about some specific examples, which do involve spoilers, so just skip to this time code if you don't want to hear any of that. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, okay. So firstly, the scene where the cops are asking Arthur if he's the guy who shot the 3 men on the train. Like, it was a clown who shot 3 men, and you find out that this guy who worked as a clown was fired for having a gun with him at a children's hospital earlier that same day. And you're really just gonna let that guy go after a minute? I know they do come back later, but to me it seems like you should be a little more suspicious at the start. Then there's the scene with Arthur on Robert De Niro's talk show, which, besides what I'm about to talk about, I thought was a great scene. And Robert De Niro keeps talking to him even after learning that he's this mentally deranged killer who is likely a serious danger. But the most egregious example, in my opinion, is when Thomas Wayne is talking to Arthur in that bathroom at that Charlie Chaplin show. First of all, you're not really weirded out by this guy who's dressed like this at this very formal event where everyone's wearing a suit and tie. Secondly, you continue talking to him and don't call security or something after learning it's the guy who came to your house, was being real creepy with your kid, and strangled your butler. And thirdly, you just punch him in the face and leave him there. Like, you're not gonna call anyone or drag him out or something? I don't know. I found that to be kind of an odd scene to watch. And then, in terms of predictable plot points, the whole Zazie Beetz storyline being a fake-out was quite predictable. Because despite how many times people didn't act like normal people in this film, that character really didn't act at all like a normal person, and that whole plotline would have been absolutely ridiculous if it hadn't been in his head the whole time. I just found that whole thing quite obvious from the beginning, and I don't think that was intentional, because it treats the reveal like it's this whole Tyler Durden twist. To be fair, I did think some twists were kind of well handled, like how he was Thomas Wayne's son, and then he wasn't. That kept me kind of guessing, like whether that was a fake out, or maybe it's a double fake out, although maybe that's because I'd heard that leaked twist going in, so I was more inclined to think that it was going to be real. But still, decently well handled, unlike some other parts. Okay, that's the end of that little spoiler section. All in all, I thought Joker was quite good. I've seen people only have extreme takes, like this is either the greatest film of the year or one of the worst films ever made. Putting aside the whole controversy and just looking at this as a film, I am kind of surprised it's causing this much of a divide. I think it's a really good film with quite a few noticeable flaws. That doesn't make it the best or worst movie ever. It is a different kind of comic book movie, like Logan and Deadpool were, and I do enjoy seeing filmmakers mess around with this genre. It's led to some really creative and interesting projects. This is an amazing performance in a gorgeous looking film with some sloppy writing at a few points. I'll give Joker an 8.2 out of 10. So, those are my thoughts on Joker. What did you think of it? Let me know all of your thoughts down below in the comments. While you're at it, be sure to like this video, check out my Instagram and Twitter at BHL_Hudson, and subscribe for more videos like the one you just watched. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.